What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrared. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I bring you a manga live reaction to Hunter x Hunter chapter 358. Togashi keeps rolling with these chapters as we are now on the 9th straight chapter that he's given us, which is where he gave us last time. So whenever things get too hype in Hunter x Hunter, I just get scared that Togashi's going to go on another hiatus, and who knows when we'll see him again. But for now, let's just enjoy it while we can. Another thing is, after that battle with Hisoka and Chrollo, I'm going to go ahead and assume that we're going to slow things down a bit this chapter. We're probably going to get some exposition as we head on to the Dark Continent, because I don't think unless Hisoka's just going to straight go in on the spiders starting with this chapter, we got to lay some groundwork. Togashi's really good at laying groundwork, but when he lays groundwork as he gives us walls of text. This guy will give us like 4 pages of dialogue, which could be a little bit jarring. As I've said in all my live reaction videos to Hunter x Hunter, I would rather read the dialogue with you guys or while I'm on cam and give my thoughts then to try to piece this apart and analyze it, because honestly it'll be a little bit too hard to take it all in. So it's better to just do it as we go along. You can just think of it as reading with your boy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get down to this chapter and see what we got here. Alright, so we're starting off with the announcer. At last. Ladies and gentlemen, at long last the day has finally arrived. Humanity prepares to expand its horizons even further as it embarks anew. Alright, and this chapter is called Eve. Eve. Interesting. On this journey to the new continent, let the Eve's festivities commence. This ship looks like it's in like the middle of a big old whale. That's pretty interesting. Now, is Togashi drawing this stuff himself? Or maybe he's gotten better, because, you know, the art's gotten a little bit better, especially compared to how it was in Chimera Anarch. My God, that looked like a 5th grader drew that shit, but it was great. I am honored to be in the presence of living witnesses to a great chapter in history. From here on out, every single thing you experience will be history. That's right, you yourselves will be a part of history. Wow, this announcer looks like a jester. That's pretty funny. Well then, without further ado, let me introduce the great giant who realized this modern day arc, our very own king, Nasubi Higoru. I've got only one thing I want to say. Hui, I am the great king of Kaken. Okay, so he's the king. Interesting. Should he just be out like that? Didn't you think somebody would probably try to assassinate him? That's interesting. And together we would claim the new continent. King, King, Crowshan King, King, King. On the second stage, we have our second in command, Master Beyond. Oh, okay, so Beyond Netero, he's kind of acting like the hand of the king for our Game of Thrones fans out there. That's interesting. I didn't know he was that high up. I mean, it's been a while since I went back and read everything that was going on with Hunter x Hunter. So some of the stuff I'm going to forget. But once I get rolling and start reading, I'll remember again. But help me out. I don't remember if it was confirmed that this guy was going to be that high up in the ranks here. And the princes related to the great king by blood, they all await the very first step to this historic voyage. Alright, so we got Beyond here, and we got all of the princes and princesses of Kaken. You know, this is going to be really, really good. I mean, we know Togashi's going to bring that darkness. The fact that one of these princes is actually a damn baby, and someone's going to have to kill that baby, you're going to get that moral gray center that we always get in Hunter x Hunter. You know how it goes. Exactly why Kurapika is there to protect it. He's going to have to protect his baby, because is it right for a kid to lose his life in such a savage game just for royalty? Come on, let the kid live, you know? Let the kid... I mean, I'm not saying you should kill the kid. I'm just saying, if I was a villain, let the kid grow up a little bit first and then try to take him out when he can defend himself. Anyway, back to the chapter. So everyone's participating in the festivities. I wonder just how many will be left by tomorrow's ceremony. Whatever the ones who win will be whatever the one who wins in the end will be me. So these guys are thinking. I thought it was still the announcer, but this is each one of the princes thinking. All you ignorant insects, look well upon me. It is I who will be the next king. That might be me. Okay, so we have two twins as well. I'm pretty sure those twins are going to get killed, probably the worst out of all of them. And then we see the one with the baby. And now, at last, the airship that the king is aboard is heading for the Black Whale. There it goes. With his very own life on the line, our king is going to lead the way for his people to untrodden lands. Has anyone like this ever existed before? No, never. So that kind of kills my theory. I mean, just to see this guy out in the open, I would say, why don't they just kill this guy? But knowing that Beyond Netero is there, I'm pretty sure he's good now. Our great king, now on to the fittingly great ship, right this very moment. What a great arrival, so full of greatness. Oh, it's great, ladies and gentlemen. And now the airships containing the princess and the Vips. Where's the Vips? Maybe that's a typo. Containing the princess and the Vips are heading there one after another. Also on the water, the general passengers have now begun heading back to Whale Island by ferry. What do you think of this, world? This is greatness. So everybody's on a damn ship? Oh yeah, that's gonna lead to disaster. I mean, I knew we were on a ship, but I didn't think it was going to be this many people. This is like an entire city almost. For such a great occasion, we too must enjoy ourselves. Let's celebrate. Alright, so everybody's like in a gala. Everybody's all dressed up in formal. It kind of reminds me of when the Phantom Trope were in York New City, how everybody was looking all clean. It's the same thing here with this ceremony with the prince and princesses a cocking. So this is a 5-layer ship too, and we're getting a breakdown of what's going on here. The Black Whale has 5 decks. The first deck houses the royal family and V5's political VIPs. Okay, VIPs. I said VIPs. The second deck has various celebrities and prominent figures as well as wealthy and upper class. The third deck and below is for general public, of course, because you know it's always first class and coach. As well as wealthy and upper class. The third deck and below is for general public and regular passengers. The connecting pathways to each of the decks is being guarded by the royal troops and being treated as under martial law. Furthermore, the second and third deck are completely cut off from each other by massive thick walls. During emergencies, they can be opened and shut only from the second deck. Okay, so pretty much the movers and shakers are on 1. The cannon movers and shakers are on 2. And everybody down there are pretty much just the peons, the way they're making this seem. And nobody can get access to 1 and 2 except people from those prospective floors. Therefore, the hunting grounds are restricted to the first and second deck only. So are they going to fight on this ship? I'm a little bit confused because I thought they were actually going to the Dark Continent. And then that's where the battle was going to take place. But the way they're explaining this is making it seem like they can actually fight on this ship. So that should leave things open to assassinations, you would think. Because, you know, each one of these princes, they also have guards. And think about everybody that we have on this ship as well. I mean, we got the Zodiacs. We got the Zodiacs with Leorio. We got Jing and Periston is supposed to be there. We got the Trope on the ship along with Hisoka. And we all got the king and queen, or king, queens, princes. There's a lot of people on this ship to make a lot of things happen, and for something this big to go down on the water, I feel bad for the fodder people, because just looking about how they're explaining this and this big breakout, you know some type of fight or something's going to happen that's going to take a lot of lives, because that's what happens in things like this. I wouldn't be surprised if a tournament ends up breaking out on this ship. Okay, so within the ship, maintain calm and composure. The real party begins in 2 months after the landfall ceremony is completed. Until then, we are not soldiers but guards. Okay, so they are going to... I'm a little bit confused because they're making it seem like they can fight on this ship, but they're still waiting until they get to the destination for the Kakin tournament. Constantly being on edge of our seats, ready at the moment's notice and waiting for the first Prince Benjamin's orders to act on our assault plan is going to be strenuous. Each of the prince's residential quarters is very strictly sectioned off. In order for them to handle everything that has to do with their daily life, contact with their guards is to be kept to a minimum. All the princes have met and planned to meet together every Sunday along with their guests for dinner and a banquet. The times that each prince will enter and exit has also been decided so that not two princes will cross each other's path in transit. So, yeah, I'm getting confused because they're saying that they can go edit on this ship. However, they're saying it's so guarded that at least the princes won't be able to fight each other. But I guess if the bodyguards get into a fight and take them out, then hey, so be it. I trust Togashi. We'll just have to see where it goes. Which means that we would have no chance whatsoever here. In fact, we may be spending the entire time pent up like this. Alright, so we got Kurapika. Being a higher ranking bodyguard will be convenient. Let's use this chance to search for a way to escape the Secession War. Yes. Is it possible to contact the other queens and princes using the phones on the ship? The lower wives cannot call the wives above them. On top of that, the phones should be guarded by troops. The royal troops that are watching over the Succession War Room from a neutral standpoint are all monitoring the passageways. In other words, they're going to be aware of all of our movements. It would seem assassination has been made completely impossible. I don't really understand exactly what the king's motives is here. Of course, even with these circumstances, there are plenty of ways around and out. But once you take the existence of Nin users into account, possibilities become endless. That's true. Never say never. It seems like you can't assassinate anybody, but we got some animals on this ship, so it's not going to go as cleanly as they think. First of all, I need to get a read on the enemy's battle strength so I can gauge the balance of power and where we stand presently. I don't know anything apart from how much security personnel each prince has. Even excluding the possibility of Nin users in the mix, our battle strength is scarce. Even the hunters in charge of security outside the residential quarters may not be our allies, which makes them threats. Oh, and here comes the info dump. This entire page is like dialogue. At the time of the test, we didn't learn of any ulterior motives or plans from the Kakin examinees. And most of the Kakin bodyguards even slipped past my chain test. Limited hunter qualifications were given out for the period of this voyage to the Dark Continent in order to have more bodyguards aboard. It seems the Dark Continent Committee making the examination lax may have backfired on us. Which means outside of the King's residential quarters on the first deck, there are around 150 temporary hunters concealing some ulterior mission prowling around. Yee. Although the second hunter bylaw escaped the recent reformation of the hunter bylaws, it was reformed to allow for temporary members. Compared to the risk of strictly selecting people based on certain criteria, this kind of wishy-washy amendment that allows uncertain factors to enter the mix greatly increases the possibility of great transpiring that are beyond expectation. On top of that, when I was in contact with Tessendrich, I sensed feelings of blood-drenched royal success. I sensed feelings of a blood-drenched royal succession war. Was that just me being nervous? Was that something else entirely? Kurapika? Is that you, Mazai? What's going on? I'm devoting my attention to deck 3 and 4. Okay, that's down with the regular people. The crime rate down here has picked up and gotten out of hand faster than I've ever anticipated. From forged tickets, theft and robbery, fighting and arguments, drunken brawls, all the way to identity fraud, larceny, assault, and all kinds of things, on top of having to investigate tons of false reports. It's utter chaos. So it looks like Hisoka and or the Phantom Trope are already getting to it, because remember Chrollo was saying that they're accepting general boarding now, so that's pretty much where he is. And you know Hisoka's following suit. So they're out there doing ticket fraud. They're out there sneaking on the ship. And remember, the entire Phantom Trope is here as well. So they're either there and they're just causing ruckus to have fun, or maybe they're making some type of distraction so they can steal that treasure. Either way, it's going to be fun when we get to him. See, it's just confirmed in the next sentence. It also appears a rumor that some criminal ring is causing people's tickets to be rendered invalid due to that person supposedly already being on board was the origin of all this mess. Then the rumors even made it to people accusing other people of having tickets in question. Kakin's troops aren't even dealing with this with any consistency. If this goes on, things will erupt into a total riot. Bodabai and I aided the troops and the private security in taking control of the situation. That's why I won't be able to attend the Zodiac's meeting prior to departure. We seriously underestimated just how careless and sloppy Kakin could be. Their whole plan and protocol was completely meaningless, and the ones that are worst off are medical teams. There are three treatment facility rooms on the third deck, while fourth and fifth only have 2 rooms, and the fifth deck doesn't even have resident doctors. There are only 1/5 of the medical facilities that they had planned, and 1/15 of the doctors available. So I'm pretty sure Leorio is about to step in and do some boss healing on the floors that doesn't have any healing. It's his arc. They introduced him back for a reason. It's just going to focus on him, Kurapika, and Jing almost exclusively at some point. So it's going to be good to see Leorio back and see how much he's leveled up after all this time. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And what really has me disgusted is that I hear the upper floors have 1 doctor for every 20 people. It can't be helped. Cheeto is right in the middle of doing everything possible to refill and recruit staff. With the way things are going, the meeting's likely to be called off. Perhaps so. This will probably be my last communication with you before we depart. Stay on your toes and keep your eyes open. Yeah. I might be able to make use of all the timing of all the chaos down below. Queen Oito? Oito? I believe that's Oito. So this is Kurapika talking to the lady with the kid. In case the worst should happen, I've prepared some escape routes we can use in case of an emergency, allow me to share my findings with you. Emergency? What are you saying? That things are going to get worse than they are now? Well, for example, there's a crash or riots or a fire breaks out. It's possible to open gate connecting the second and third decks. It's possible to open the gate connecting the second and third decks. If everything goes well, we might be able to slip away from the eyes of the troops and the princes and blend in with the regular passengers. Can we really do something like that? I don't know. What might happen? I don't know what might happen, so I'm just preparing. So please do your best to memorize where the airships, life rafts, and flotation devices are deployed, and learn how to use them. Sorry, guys. Knowledge increases your probability of survival by a substantial amount. When it comes down to life or death, compared to not knowing what to do, knowing but being unsure if you can or cannot will have a striking effect on your assessment of the situation. That's true. Use your surge of fear or adrenaline to sharpen your decision making, in other words. Wow, she is scared shitless right now. I mean, she's literally shaking. Your Highness, are you okay? I prepared myself. I had prepared myself for us to die on this boat. I thought that was what I wanted, but suddenly, she's having second thoughts. I mean, come on, what do you think? What did you think you were going to do on this boat full of savages and a family that's going to possibly kill each other in order to be king? Come on now. Perhaps you should rest for a while. While you do, I'll gather the necessary data and materials. Yes, thank you. Alright, so she took the baby and put it in the crib. Please, take the queen and prince to their sleeping chambers. Connect me with the system control room. Kurapika is noticing something. Wow, what the hell is going on with that baby? What's wrong? And it is set in motion. Nothing. So it looks like Kurapika has noticed some type of aura coming from that kid. And remember the Kakins, they all have like a nin beast that protects them, kind of like a stand in JoJo. So I wonder if this kid's beast is manifesting itself in order to protect it, because by being a baby, I'm pretty sure he can't control it. Also, I know Togashi usually doesn't do cliche, but I bet this kid probably has one that is really strong and probably the most powerful of all of the Kakens. So we'll just have to see where it goes. Again, this was a very exposition heavy chapter, so sorry if it was a little bit boring, but we're going to get that in Hunter x Hunter. And we're going to get it a lot before it get hype. However, I'm going to continue to do the live reactions for them. So thanks for bearing with me. And thanks for joining me. As I always say, you guys could be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thank you guys for stopping by. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you for joining me. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit it a like. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as I bring you guys content almost daily right now. So on that note, it's your boy Infrared signing out. See you soon.